All right, folks. Booger Brad here with Camel Camping and Fun. I'm gonna do a knife video for you, but it became a little overwhelming when I figured out how many knives I have. I'm not a collector or anything like that, but I used to sell them. So yeah, and the economy is so knives run by the economy. If it's down, then sales are down, prices are down. There's no big margin for selling knives or anything like that, cutlery type of things. So what I'm going to do, just stick with me and I'll pan the knives. And then if I got anything interesting, maybe I'll show it to you individually. But stick with me and we'll take a look at them. Okay, we'll just start from big to small, I guess, or something like that. This is a machete. This is just has a Rothko case on it, but it's a Blackie Collins with a saw back and everything. It's not super interesting. It's very heavy, so I don't know if that'd be your choice for light bush, but it'll do anything, even cut snow. Your next two big guys here are just Ontario knives. It might have been some of the last ones that came out of Amazon here in Canada because there was trouble with the handles, apparently, so nobody was buying them. And so I basically bought them thinking, well, yeah, it's Amazon, so if they're no good, I can just send them back. Sorry about the camera action here. I'll just show you this guy. This is the second time I've ever bought this big machete there. It's one of the SP series. It was unbelievable for making hooches and stuff like that in the bush. I actually sold it years ago and rebought it. Um, and the other one I think is an SP5 or 7. It's like a big Bowie, very heavy duty. I painted the case for it, and I make danglers off of for some of them for some of my battle belt systems. These guys here are really special. They are scrapyard knives. One's the 911 and the 711. That's my brother's, the 711, with a very special Spec Ops case from back in the day where they put every bell and whistle you can think of on it, as you can see. And the handles are made of some kind of, I don't know, tank tread rubber or something. And I bought that Kydex. They don't come with sheaths, so I bought the Kydex sheath for the big 911. Yeah, so, and I also made a dangler, as you can see here, for it. And it has a tactical clip on the back. This guy here, it has the um, split sheath for, paratrooper stuff where your belt loop goes in between, sort of thing, so it doesn't slide forward or anything. These two knives, they're not super special, but one's the ESEE, the 6-inch, which everybody probably knows what that is if you do any bushcrafting or anything like that. But that sheath was, I bought two of them. They were the last two sheaths, that fancy sheaths with the little case and everything on them, that this one company I bought from years ago, and in green. Everything else was in black. Now the next one is just a Rat 5, but a very early Rat 5, so they did them a little different. It had the olive handle, and this case, I bought two of them as well. They were the last ones out of, what was it, Knife Center or something like that, because I went to buy another one and it just didn't exist anymore. But it's like really cool. That knife there was a movie prop and came with its regular case, but I changed it up for that case, and then when I went to buy a couple more, completely gone. Was I had to search the net to find a picture of it. Then it linked me back to a discontinued. And the next guy, he's just one I made up a Kydex. Well, I had the Kydex sheath, bought the Kydex sheath for it, and I made a little fancy cover for it and everything. It's just your regular, pull it out here, your regular Rat 7 um, with a serrated blade with a little tape around it to make it look cool. It went with a kit that I had with a bunch of CAD pad stuff, and Chinese CAD pad. It also came with a regular sheath. But the next guy here is just a Rat, or sorry, it's a ESEE4. Everybody kind of knows what they are too. I made a dangler for a kit that I have set up. Now the next guy is a Nightwing, or sorry, I can't remember, Nightwing or Night. This is the, get the picture there. This is the Nightwing. So this knife was a little different. It was more expensive because it was the S30V stainless steel version of this knife instead of 1095 carbon, and there was about 3 different options for it. It also came with 3 different sheath, a black sheath and a tan sheath and an olive sheath, which I never got. The olive sheath would have been cool. Now the next 2 knives are very special. They could have been the last 2 the gentleman for Triple X knives ever made. Very possibly, because I tried to order 2 more afterwards and it just wasn't happening. He had retired. Oh, these guys are tough to get out of these sheaths. Sorry, I'm just gonna pull it out there. This one, sorry about the video there. I'm very poor at doing these videos for starters, because I just don't do these kind of things. I'm good with the equipment, but not so good with the videos. This is made out of this one's M2 steel. These are works of art by, sorry about the light there, by Triple X. I'll see if I can, yeah, zoom in, see it says Triple X Canada there. These are a work of art with the burled handled maple and everything. Huge spine on the thing, and it's just that's one of my sort of keeper knives that's not for sale. Most of these knives have been for sale, and my brother's is the 4-inch version, and it's L6 steel. And of course, everybody knows what this is, the Glock knife in green, which is cool. Indestructible, of course. Next on the list here is I think, well, the brown sheath one I think is a AK or VZ something bayonet, but the one in the black case here is like the commando version, but it hooks up to the end of the firearm, the same type of thing. And I thought that was cool. I thought somebody would want to buy that, but well, they never did. But what are you going to do, right? This one here was a friend of mine's, ESE E4. We did a little trade, and as you can see, he knows how to sharpen serrations. And my buddy Terry, and it's a razor, total razor. And everybody knows what this is, a Mora. I believe it's, I can't remember if it's a carbon steel or not, but and I just built a little kit around it there. Just to kind of use it. It's hooked up to one of my backpacks. It's one of my standard keeper knives. And here's something interesting here. That first big one on the bottom is a Boy Scout Skinner from back in the 70s. And it's used, and it's in really good condition. The sheath, I had to do a little repair on the sheath, but it's fine. The next one's really cool. I had one of these when I was a kid, and that is an actual, let's see if I can get the camera on it here. That was $45 back in the day, and that is a brand new Boy Scout knife from Ruco, I think that's how you pronounce it. And an older couple was selling these knives that had a store, hardware store back in the 70s and 80s. And they said, yeah, that was late 70s, early 80s. And same with the next knife up. It was brand new, and it's what they called a Buffalo Skinner. And it's got solid, they're both made solid in Germany. Pretty good steel. And that's an actual stag handle. That's not plastic. I had to put it in some mineral oil to actually stop from shrinking. But yeah, nobody wanted to buy it either, I guess. But oh, and I forgot to mention, I have a sheath for that the rat knife there, the Rat 7, that sits sideways. And it's funny because it's an ancient rat cutlery. I see if I can get that in the camera there. It's a rat cutlery sheath, which was the guys who sort of joined together with Ontario Knife to make the rat knives. And here's a perfect example of it right here. There's one that's an original 3-inch rat knife from Rowan, the guys who made them. And see, it says rat cutlery on it. So it's sort of like, I guess, to those folks that love that collector type stuff, that's probably collectible as rat knives go or whatever. And there's an extra sheath for it. It's with the heavy duty clip on the back. They made them plastic or metal, spring steel. So, oh, and there's just a little, I don't know if they still make this one. That's a little neck knife from Becker, BK Becker, right? It has a bottle opener on the end of it. I don't know if they still do this one, and I wrapped it with some reflective paracord. The next stuff up is just a whole bunch of Leathermans. I don't know. I couldn't get enough of them. I can't even find the one I used for years and years in my workplace. But I have like the darker version, the military type ones and all that kind of stuff. The skeletonized one. There's a black Rev, I think it is. But there, I mean, if you don't have a Leatherman, you're kind of out of it, right? There's one of the skeletonized ones, the fancy, expensive ones my workplace bought for me years ago. But let me just swing you over to, just hang on a sec, and I'll swing you over to the other table. So here we have some more big knives. They were good sellers, actually, these rat knives. These are the D2 version. I'll swing you down so you can see the D2 stamp on them. They came like serrated or non-serrated. The straight blades were a better seller. That's a Rat 7 there, as you can see, and a Rat 5 D2 steel, and the tack. The one that was a really good seller was the great big tack 2, I think it was. It's like a big machete. Moving down the line, I have Bark River, beautiful Bark River knives. This one, I don't know if you can see that. It's take a look at it here. So this one, get the light on. It's CPM V3 steel, and look, as you can see, there's a tiny bit of rust starting on it there. It rusts anyways. This is set it down here. This is a Myrtlewood handle. Getting too much glare off of it there, reflection. This is a Myrtlewood handle, Aurora, I believe they call it. And Myrtlewood, of course, is very, very fancy, rare wood now, I guess. That's what they used to make money out of back in the Depression, where they, don't pick up a wooden nickel type of thing. Well, it was actually Myrtlewood, so that wasn't cheap. But that would be one of my hunting knives. I slid that. I had to buy a new sheath, because when I slid that knife into the sheath that came with it, it just cut a hole in it. Okay, I'm just going to stop the video here for a second. I'll be right back in a sec. Sorry there, folks. I just got one of those phone calls where nobody's there. The next up is a Fox River Magnum, and I had to turn my light off because I was getting too much glare. It comes with a really heavy-duty sheath from Bark River, and of course, they are just gorgeous. This is an actual, let's see if I can get it here on camera. It says first run production. So that usually indicates that when it was ground very carefully by one of their pro guys they got there at Bark River. Unbelievably beautiful. G10 mil-spec camo handle. I love that mil-spec camo handle stuff. So yeah, that's why I've got a couple of those. This one here was the Master Hunter, I believe they call it. It again is a it's just an both of them are A2 steel. It again though is a first run production, and with a burley maple handle, and just absolutely gorgeous. You can turn them into a razor blade. And I'll just come back to this one in a sec. Here's another. That's the little Fox River. That's in my hunting pack. It also is a first. Let's see it here. It also is a first run production knife with the G10 camo handle, which I love. So that basically is a hunting knife. Comes with a beautiful sheath, and I weld it up. Just going back to this knife here, it's one of the wonderful Pathfinder knives my brother bought, and he liked the design of that. They're 1095 steel, I believe. They're good looking knives. Good grind on them and everything else. I wouldn't be afraid to use one, but price wise, when it comes up to Canada, you're looking at a lot of dough. But other than that, pretty good knife. I'll swing it back to another Bark River that I stuck over here. I have a Kydex sheath for this one. This is A2 steel as well, the Bravo 1.5. And again, another, there's the sheath for it that comes with it. Again, another beautiful knife. They're all pretty heavy, but I mean, basically unbreakable. I'll swing it back down here to a little hunting knife. The guy beside it here is just your regular Victorinox Hunter. Those two go with me when I go deer hunting. I'll swing it back up now to the little knives. The little guys are here. You always got to have a pocket knife, and there's I forget what they call that one, a camper or hunter or something like that. Although it's got a little pair of scissors on it. And this is just a good old American-made pocket knife. I used to look for American-made pocket knives that were still brand new. I don't know. I just cattlemen or whatever they call it. Here's a Puma. I don't know if you can still get this one. It's a sharp finger, and basically that would go with me if I was skinning a deer. Excellent blade, good steel, really heavy duty stag handle. And again, I don't know if you can get those anymore. Puma knives. I've sold all kinds of Puma knives, the big expensive Bowie and all that kind of stuff years ago. And of course, there's just a skinning knife. You got to sharpen it once in a while, but it does the job. There's a Canadian Forces knife and spoon set, knife, fork, and spoon, and a little, probably an older, getting a shadow, probably an older Canadian Forces issue pocket knife. And here's it's backwards. Here's the Marbles US version. Sorry about the light. The US version of the Marbles knives that would be, I think, issued to soldiers, or soldiers could buy it with Canadian Forces case. And of course, everybody's probably seen a regular rat knife or a rat pocket knife. They're fantastic, heavy duty. You can't go wrong with a rat pocket knife. And then another sharp finger that's, this is an old Henry, I think they call it, or something. But it was, when I tried to look it up, it just led me to their custom shop, because it doesn't have a plastic handle. It's got some kind of weird stainless steel I couldn't figure out, and black African wood handles. So, in a really nice leather case. I got it off an older gentleman at a show we were at. Oh, and here's something interesting here. This is a Leatherman pocket knife. I'll try and see if I can open it up for you here. Yeah. This is a Leatherman pocket knife. They made really good pocket knives. Well, they continued the smaller ones, and I think they brought out more pocket knives. But this one had a tool holder on it, which inside the case there's a bunch of tools in there. But I thought that was cool. I found that in a dusty old box in a hunting shop, buried underneath a bunch of junk. I was like, what the heck is that? And it's got a carbiner, a neat little carbiner. See if I can get it out here in the end. So I guess if you have to hang it onto your harness or something, you can do that. But I thought that was kind of cool. Next up, I've had this forever. I don't know if I can get that on camera. No, but it says it's from, geez, I need to check the light. 1983, and that's when they first came out with this locking device on the blade. And of course, it's a is it a Wenger? Yeah, it's a. I can't get this stuff in the camera. I can't get it to focus, but yeah, that's a Wenger knife, and Victorinox bought them, of course. And next up is a Gerber knife that I used for a work knife, for just a box cutter, for years and years. I don't know. I don't know what it is about Gerber knives, but I can't seem to get them super sharp compared to some of the other steels. I don't know. But I did reprofile this Gerber Gator, and I've had this for years. That actually is cut people out of a car, cut seat belts. with a car on fire years ago. It's a story that probably wouldn't be interested in, but yeah, that one there. People were happy. I had people talk about serrations being useless. No, that was one of my deer hunting knives for years, and that serration came in really handy. People are like, "Oh, if your knife's sharp enough, it can go through butter or whatever." Well, there's a lot of stuff out there that's a lot tougher than butter. So, anyways, there's the old case for it. This is the knife I carry, and it's just a rescue tool with a serrated blade, seatbelt cutter, glass cutter type of thing in there. But yeah, it's that's what I normally carry on me, and or a small pocket knife for camping. Um, Stick with me. So I'll just tell you one interesting story here. This knife here, my brother's knife, the 711. I guess it says Psycho. This is an interesting knife because years ago I saw a YouTube where a fella, show the sheath again there, where the fella put it through 10 different tests, this German chap. And he said that this knife was the only one that survived his 10 tests. And then he took a piece of pipe where it was welded together, two pieces of pipe, and he put it against the weld on the two pieces of like Schedule 40 pipe. And he said, now we're going to break it. And he beat it into the pipe, and it actually started cutting into the weld before it broke. It was unbelievable. Well, there you have it, folks. I don't think I could do any worse for a video, but so many knives. Like I say, I used to sell them, but the tanked economy here is just, But and by the way, I don't I don't flog anybody's equipment or anything right now. Nobody's paying me to do anything. I just do all this stuff on my own, and all my equipment is mine that I bought and paid for. So just to let you know that. But I really appreciate you watching my videos, and like, subscribe, and share. That's what they all say, I guess, in the end. And I really enjoyed making the video for you. It was the most heavy dutyest video I've ever had to do so far, and it was just to get this stuff out on the floor, out of my kits and everything else, was unbelievable, but it was all worth it to do a video for you. And thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.